गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अगजाननपद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदं तं भक्तानाम् एकदन्तमुपास्महे। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा. Okay, so in the first class we did until the Kavya Katha, Kumara Sambhavam we started, and now let us look at the Anvaya Krama of the shlokas. So here in this lesson, they will go a little in depth on how to analyze a shloka based on certain things. Not only analysis, grammatically also how to categorize the words. Okay, but in such detail you need not write in exam point of view. It will be nice for you to understand, but just letting you know that you don't have to feel pressurized that you have to memorize the whole thing right now, because you are just starting to learn this. It will be a little overwhelming to grasp everything. So I would suggest, understand how to do the Padavibhaga, and then Pratipadartha, Tatparyam, and Anvayartha. Anvayartha, since Anvay Rachana, since we did even in Shiksha, you will be able to do it. Everything else, you just give yourself some time. Okay. Okay. So let us see here. Samskrita Sahitye shlokaah adhikaah santi. Atah shlokeshu anvayakramaha avashyam jnatavyah. So most of the Sanskrit literature is in the form of shlokas. So Anvaya Rachana is very, very important to understand the meaning of any shloka. Okay, whether it is a kavyam or a text of any kind, of any science, anything. Anvayasya lekhane samanyam kramam bhavantah jananti. Parichaya patheshu shiksha patheshu cha kannada bhashaya anvaya rachana kramaha pradarshitah. Samprati Kovida patheshu samskritena anvaya kramam pradarshayamaha. Yatra kinchit visheshaha tatra kannada bhashaya api vivaranam bhavishyati. Okay, so basically the complete Anvayam will be in Samskritam only, the Tatparyam and everything. Where there is a little difficulty, there it will be explained in English or Kannada, depending on which medium textbook you have. Raghuvamsham Mahakavinam Kalidasena Virachitam Mahakavyam. Tatra Dvitiya Sarge Dilipasya Katha Asti. Tam Katham Svikritya Raghuvamshasya Padyanam Anvayakramam Darshayamaha. So Raghuvamsham is a Mahakavyam written by Kalidasa. In that Mahakavyam, we have around 17 to 19 sargas. In those sargas, these shlokas are taken from the Dvitiya Sarga. In the Dvitiya Sarga, Dilipasya Katha Asti. Okay. So we are taking shlokas from the Dvitiya Sarga in this Kovida for our analysis. Dilipaha Raghuvamshasya Chakreshwaraha. Tasya patni Sudakshina. Tayoho santano nasti. Nasit. Vasishtacharyasya nirdesham anusritya tau nandinyaha dhenvaha sevam kritavantau. Sa eva tatha bhagaha atra svikritaha. So basically the background is Dilipa is a great king from the Raghuvamsha, and his wife is Sudakshina. He is a very, very great king. In the first sarga, completely his description is given, how he rules the kingdom and everything. This is the second sarga. So he doesn't have children. and he doesn't know why he doesn't have children. So he will meet with his guru, Vasishta, and then Vasishta will tell that once Dilipa goes to the Svargalokam to help Indra with a war against the Asuras. So Dilipa goes there, he will fight, win the war, the Devas will win the war. And on his way back, when he's coming back from the Devaloka onto the earth, he will pass Kamadhenu, but he doesn't see her. So he doesn't stop to offer his salutations. So Kamadhenu will curse him, basically. And he will not even hear the curse, because there is Ganga flowing right next to him, to his path. So that is the background. So Vasishta will tell the same. So this is what has happened. So now to get rid of that curse, you have to serve Nandini. And Nandini is with Vasishta only. So he has to stay in the ashramam, lead the life of a ascetic, and serve the cow. That is how he can get free from the sin. And how he serves the cow, and that period when he is in the ashramam, what happens is what we will be studying in these shlokas. Okay. So the first shloka. Atha Prajanamadipaha Prabhate Jaya Pratigrahita Gandhamalyam Vanaya Pita Pratibadhavatsam Yashodhano Dhenum Rishehe Mumocha. Dhenum Risher Mumocha. Okay. So Atha means then, afterwards. Prajanamadipaha. So the king of the people, Prabhate, early in the morning, Jaya Pratigrahita Gandhamalyam. So this is Visheshana to Dhenum. Dhenum is the cow. Dhenum, Rishehe Dhenum Mumocha. In the last word, if you see, Rishehe Dhenum Mumocha. So Rishi's cow, he freed. Means it was tied up and now he freed. And what kind of cow? To whom Sudakshina has offered Gandha and Mala, Pula Mala. And why did he free? Vanaya, to take her into the forest for grazing. And again there is another adjective for Dhenum. Pita Pratibadhavatsam, whose calf has been tied after it drank milk. Pita Pratibadhavatsam. Okay. Yashodhanaha. Now Yashodhanaha is adjective to Prajanamadhipaha, to Dilipa. And both these words mean Dilipa. Though the word Dilipa is not given in this shloka, it implies Dilipa. Okay. So that is the Padavibhaga and the Pratipadartha of each of these words. Right now, you don't worry about the Samastapadams like Jaya Pratigrahita Gandhamalyam and Pita Pratibadhavatsam. After we do the samasas, then we will come back and try to write Vigraha Vakyams for these Samastapadams. Until then, don't worry about them. Okay? Because first you need to know all the samasas that are there and how to write the Vigraha Vakyams and all that. Only then you will be able to understand. But until then, the meaning comprehensively you can look at. So here the Pada Vibhaga is given. And for Pada Vibhaga, we only split the words that are in Sandhi. We do not split the words which are in a Samasa. Because the words that are in a Samasa have a relation with each other. You cannot simply separate them. By simply separating, that meaning of the Samastapadam, by joining the words, a new meaning will be there. That will be lost. Okay, so we should never separate a Samastapadam. Okay, so here the Anvaya is given. Atha Prabhate Yashodhanaha Prajanam Adhipaha Jaya Pratigrahita Gandhamalyam Pita Pratibadhavatsam Rishehe Dhenum Vanaya Mumocha. So afterwards, in the morning, the king of the people, who has a lot of fame, freed the Rishi's cow, which has been to which Gandham and Mala has been offered, and whose calf has been tied after it has drunk the milk, to take to the forest. He freed. Okay, so that is the meaning of this shloka. Here again, word to word meaning in English is given. And then let us look at the Tatparya. Vasishtaha Nandini Dhenoho Sevam Kartum Sudakshina Dilipau Uktavan. Okay, so Vasishta told Sudakshina and Dilipa. What did he tell? Nandini Dhenoho Sevam Karotu iti. Tatah pratah kale patni Sudakshina Nandinim Gandhena Pushpaihi cha apujayat. So early in the morning, first Sudakshina worshipped the cow with Gandha and Pushpa. Nandinyaha vatsaha kshiram cha apibat. Tam vatsam badhva Raja Dilipaha dhenum charanartham aranyaya vimuktavan. He freed her. What was the purpose of freeing her? To take her to the forest. And what is the purpose to take to the forest? To graze. So charanartham aranyaya vimuktavan. Okay, after tying up her calf, he frees her to take to the forest for grazing. Now let us see Anvaya Rachana. Atha means anantaram, afterwards. First, we always have to write the Kriya Padani, right? So mumocha. And any times if any avyayas are there, sometimes they are also written at the very beginning. So atha is an avyayam. So that is why it is written in the beginning. Normally we start with the Kriya Padam. Here atha is there. That is why I'm specifically saying usually such avyayams will be listed out in the front, at the top. Then we have mumocha. Mumocha means vimuktavan. This is the Kriya Padam. Kaha mumocha, adhipaha mumocha. Kasam adhipaha prajanam. Okay, prajanam is a strilinga shashti vibhakti bahuvachana. So kasam is used. Okay. Punaha kidrishaha adhipaha yashodhanaha adhipaha mumocha. Again, what kind of king has freed? A king who has yashodhanaha. Kam mumocha, whom did he free? Dhenum. Dhenum mumocha. Kasya dhenum, whose cow did he free? Rishehe dhenum. The Rishi's cow. Kidrishim dhenum, what kind of cow did he free? Pita pratibadha vatsam, whose calf was tied after drinking the milk. Punaha kidrishim jaya pratigrahita gandhamalyam, she who was worshipped by Gandha and Pulamala. Kasmai mumocha, why is she freed? For what purpose? Vanaya, vanam gantum. Kada mumocha, when was it freed? Prabhate mumocha. Okay, here this charanartham is not there in the shloka, but in the Tatparyam it is given. Okay, so certain things can be understood implicitly. Okay, so it is not there in the shloka, but in the Tatparyam it is given. So that is fine. So Prabhate mumocha. Okay, any questions in this Anvaya Rachana? Okay, so now let us see this additional information that is given, which you need to slowly, you can accustom yourself to this. Don't worry about it initially. It will be definitely overwhelming and confusing. Okay, now you all know, right? We have even in the Gita Sopanam classes, we constantly refer to words with how they end: akaranta, pumlinga, Ikaranta Strilinga, Akaranta Napumsaka, and even for the Halanta Shabdas also, Nakaranta Pumlinga, Takaranta Strilinga, that always we mention the ending letter, right? So it is important to know that, because only when we know that, we will know what form it will take in a particular vibhakti. And only when we understand which vibhakti it is in, we will understand the meaning of that word. So it is very important for us to know the anta of a word. Okay, so here it is given. So basically, for any word, what are the things that you need to know its meaning? You have to know in which anta it is. You have to know the vibhakti in which that word is. You have to know the linga of that word. You have to know the vachanam of that word, and you have to know the lakara if it is a kriya padam. For a kriya padam, now the above things are for noun, for a nama vachaka shabda. For any noun, it need not be only proper noun. For any noun, you need to know the anta, linga, vachana, vibhakti. If it is a kriya padam, you need to know whether it is prathama purusha or madhyama purusha or uttama purusha, the vachana and the dhatu, and what else? And the lakara, whether it is lat lakara, lit lakara, rit lakara, whatever lakara it is in, we have to know that. Okay. And then compound, samasa, like we said. So samasa words also we should be able to analyze or write the vigraha vakyam. And then indeclinables. So indeclinables also we need to know. Just we need to know. Some indeclinables are not very important in a shloka, like meaning wise, but they are there and we need to take care of them. And then so now here, what he's saying is, what is given is, now for every word, number, vachana, okay, kriya padani. So the coding. So under the kriya padani, if you see for pachati, it is pach dhatu parasmaipadi. PAR means parasmaipadi. Present tense. PRES is present tense. In Telugu book or in some other book, maybe it is differently written in that language. And then third person means prathama purusha. And then singular. So this you should be able to tell. If a kriya padam is given to you, you should be able to tell the dhatu, whether it is parasmaipadi or atmanepadi, the lakara, the purusha, and vachana. Okay. And then the compound, we should be able to dissolve it into the vigraha vakya. And then for avyayam also, for us, these are all the notation that is used in this book. Okay, so he's just introducing us to the notation so that in the future when we come across that, we will know what that means. So cha is a indeclinable, whereas pranamya is an indeclinable but an affix. And what does affix mean? Pratyayanta, tumunnanta. It is lyabanta actually. Lyabanta, pranamya, right? So, but it is still an indeclinable, but it is not like an indeclinable like atha or cha or eva. It is not like that. It is a pratyayanta. Okay. So here again, the same Anvaya he has written with all these additional information of each word. So first the indeclinable atha is there. Then the word praja ending in akaranta, strilinga, and bahuvachana. Okay, genitive case. GN is genitive case, means shashti vibhakti. Shashti vibhakti bahuvachana. And then the word adhipa is ending in akaranta, pumlinga, prathama vibhakti ekavachana, nominative case. For prathama vibhakti, we say it is nominative case. The word prabhata, it is akaranta, napumsakalinga, saptami vibhakti ekavachana. Prabhate is the word given in the shloka. And then jaya, what is that word? Jaya pratigrahita gandhamalyam. So this is Malya, again, Akaranta, Strilinga, Dvitiya Vibhakti, Ekavachana, accusative case. Why? Because this is the Visheshana to Dhenum. We are describing the cow. So, and Dhenum Mumocha, Prajadipaha, Dhenum Mumocha. That is the actual subject, object, and the Kriyapadam. So, Dhenum is the Karmapadam. And so it will be in Dvitiya Vibhakti. So, the Visheshana of that also will be in Dvitiya Vibhakti. And then the word Vana. Vanaya is the word in the shloka. So, Chaturthi Vibhakti, Ekavachana, Napumsakalinga, Akaranta. And then Pita Pratibaddha Vatsam. Again, this also is an adjective for Dhenum. So, Akaranta, Strilinga, Dvitiya Vibhakti, Ekavachana. And then Dhenum. Ukaranta, Strilinga, Dvitiya Vibhakti, Ekavachana. Rishehe, Rishis, cow. Shashti Vibhakti, Ekavachana. Ikaranta, Pumlinga, Shashti Vibhakti, Ekavachana. And then Mumocha. Munch Dhatu, actually, it is. And then Lit Lakara. Mumocha is Lit Lakara. Lit Lakara is Paroksha Bhuta. Okay. In Bhutakala, in Samskritam, we have three kinds. One is Paroksha Bhuta, Anadyatana Bhuta, Adyatana Bhuta. So Paroksha Bhuta is the past when we did not even exist, like at the time when Ramayanam and Mahabharatam happened. So that is Bhutakalam, but we were not there. So we call it Paroksha Bhuta. Anadyatana Bhuta. Adya means today, you know that. Adyatana means today's. Adyatana Bhuta means that which happened in the morning. You can refer to it as Adyatana Bhuta. What happened just in the morning. Anadyatana Bhuta is that which is not today, so immediate past, like yesterday, day before yesterday, last month, last year, until when you were there. If you are not there, it will go under Paroksha Bhuta. If you are existing at that time, then it will be Anadyatana Bhuta. If it is today's, then it will be Adyatana Bhutakala. So in most of the kavyas, you will find Lit Lakara only, the Kriya Padams. Paroksha Bhuta only we will find. Okay. So here Mumocha is Paroksha Bhuta. Okay. So here the Samasta Padams are also given, the Vigraha Vakyams for all the Samasa Padams. But then we will come back to these after we study the Samasa Padams. Otherwise, because in a shloka, any kind of Samasta Padam can be there. Without completely studying the characteristics of each samasa, directly working with the words will be a little confusing. So we shall come back to these samasa padams after we finish the samasa lessons. Okay. Now Samskrita Sahitya Parichayaha. Natakam. So here under this section, we will be introduced to the different kinds of Samskrita Sahityam and also Kavi Parichaya. Around 30 to 40 poets introduction will be given over these 10 lessons. I said I will forward you that, which I forgot. I shall do that tomorrow. So, which I have briefly written the points, because it will be difficult for you to study all of this, because it is really vast. And then trying to take the important points, because there is a lot of description given, but important points are only few. So I just summed up the main points in both, in the Samskrita Sahitya as well as in the Kavi Parichaya. So that I will share with you. So you will know the important points, and in the exam you can just write in your own words. Covering the important points. That will be a lot easier. If you practice it that way, it will be a lot easier. Okay. Now Natakam. Kavyam Dvividham. Shravyam Drishyam Cha Iti. Okay. So kavyas are of two types. Shravya Kavyam and Drishya Kavyam. Raghuvamshadini Shravya Kavyani. Okay. Shakuntaladini Drishya Kavyani. So some are just for listening, and some are where we can actually see. Drishya Kavyanam Rupakam iti nama. For this Drishya Kavyam, we also call it as Rupakam. Range Nataihi Natibhihischa Yat Prayujyate Tat Rupakam. So Range means on the stage. On the stage, whatever has been presented by the actors and the actresses, that is called Rupakam. Rupake Dasha Bhedaha Santi. Now Rupakams are of 10 kinds. Okay. Te Natakam, Prakaranam, Bhanaha, Prahasanam, Dimaha, Vyayogaha, Samavakaraha, Vithi, Ankaha, Ihamrigaha, Cha iti. Okay, so we commonly refer all the dramas or all the Rupakas as Nataka only, but or we think Nataka is the main thing, right, of Drishya Kavyam. But Nataka is only just one kind of Drishya Kavyam. So Drishya Kavyam is also known as Rupakam, and this Rupakam is of 10 kinds, of which Natakam is one. We most commonly know Natakam, but we don't know these other names, right? So there will be slight differences in how they are presented, and that is the reason why so many kinds are there. Nayaka Swabhava Bhedena, Vastu Bhedena, Rasa Bhedena, Anka Sankhya Bhedena, Cha Etesham Rupakanam Bhedaha. So how are they differentiated? Nayaka Swabhava Bhedena. So, you know how sometimes the Nayaka of a particular story will be good, or sometimes it can be bad, or sometimes he can be a little different, you know. So depending on the Swabhava of the Nayaka and Vastu Bhedena, and then Rasa Bhedena. The Rasa means the Navarasas. So primarily, if a particular Rupakam has a particular Rasa, then maybe it is classified as a different kind. Okay, so these 10 kinds are based. The factors on which they are based is these: Nayaka Swabhavaha, Vastu Bhedaha, Rasa Bhedaha, Anka Sankhya Bhedaha. Anka Sankhya Bhedaha, I really don't know what it means. And then, so based on these, the Rupakas are categorized into 10 kinds. Kintu adhuna vyavahare sarvani rupakani natakani ityeva kathyante. So like how I said earlier, all these are referred to as Nataka only commonly, but there is a difference between these. Natyashastram iti ekah prachina grantah 2000 varshebhyah purvameva bharatacharyena kritah asti. There is a shastra called Natya Shastram written by Bharata Muni. Okay. 2000 varshebhyah purvam. So 2000 years back. Tasmin granthe saha natya swarupam nataka lakshanam cha samyak uktavan. So in that he wrote how natakam should be presented. The swarupam means how should it start, what should it have, what are the aspects that it should definitely have, what are the aspects it should definitely not have, and how it should be concluded. That is Nataka Swarupam. And then Nataka Lakshanam, the characteristics of a Natakam. Samyak Uktavan. Dhananjayaha Nama Panditaha Dasharupakam iti Grantham Vilikhya Rupakanam Parichayam Karitavan. So a Pandit or scholar by the name of Dhananjaya wrote a Grantha known as Dasharupakam, and in which he mentioned Rupakanam Parichayam Karitavan. So he wrote about each of these kinds of Rupakas. So what is a Nataka? When do you call a Rupakam as a Natakam? When do you call a Rupakam as Dima? All such details are there in that Grantha. Prathamam Kavina Gadya Padya Yuktaha Sambhashanaatmakaha Abhinaya Yogyaha Kaschana Grantaha Likhyate. Tatratya Katha Ramayanadishu Prasiddha va bhavet, Kavikalpita va bhavet. Saha Grantaha Nataihi Range Abhiniyate. So first what happens? By some poet, okay? There will be a kavyam or a grantha that is written. And what kind of grantha will it be, or what does it contain? Gadya Padya Yuktaha means it will have both Gadya and Padya. Sambhashanatmakaha, sometimes there will be Sambhashana also. Okay, it is not just narration, but there will be a dialogue also. Abhinaya Yogyaha means there is a scope for like acting. Abhinayam means to show the emotions. Kaschana Grantaha Likhyate. So a poet, by a poet, such a Grantha will be written. Tatratya Katha Ramayanadishu Prasiddha va bhavet, Kavikalpita va bhavet. So the story of that Grantha can be taken either from some kavyam like Ramayanam or Mahabharatam, or it can be totally made up by the poet. Okay, it can be totally kalpitam. Saha Grantaha Nataihi Range Abhiniyate. So it will be then enacted by the actors on the stage. Eshaha Abhinayaha Prayogaha iti kathyate. Now this Abhinaya is called Prayogaha. Sahridayaha Samajikaha tam drishtva Anandam Anubhavanti. Okay. So people of all kinds will enjoy the Natakam. Natake Chaturvidhaha Abhinayaha Bhavanti. So 4 kinds of Abhinaya is there in a Natakam. Angikaha, Vachikaha, Aharyakaha, Satvikaha cha iti. So 4 kinds of Abhinaya are there in a Natakam, and those are Angika, Vachika, Aharya and Satvika. Hastapada netradibihi yaha abhinayaha kriyate saha angikaha. Angikam means like related to the body, right? So whatever gestures you make using your body, that is called angikam. Bhashanam vachikaha. So whatever dialogue delivery is there, that is vachikaha. Vesha bhushanadikam aharyakaha. So vesha bhushanadikam. So the outfit, the getup, the makeup, all that comes under aharyakaha. Gatra kampanam Svedaha ityadayaha satvikaabhinayaha. So, you know, when sometimes when they say they recite some shlokas, and there the gatra kampanam means the modulation, you can say voice modulation. And then Svedaha means sweat. So maybe whatever physical attributes, additional physical attributes are there, come under Satvika Abhinayaha. Etadrishaihi Abhinayaihi Nataha Prekshakeshu Navarasan Utpadayanti. So with all these kinds of Abhinayam, Nataha, the actors, Prekshakeshu Navarasan Utpadayanti. They will make all the Navarasas. They will make the audience feel all these Navarasas. Okay. Samskrita Natakeshu Prathamam Ekam Mangalapadyam Bhavati. So we know earlier it was said that the Bharata Muni has written how a Natakam should be presented, right? So as per that Natya Shastra, so first a Mangalapadyam should be told. Nandi iti tasya nama. That Mangala Padyam is called Nandi. This is a 1-mark question, definitely. Tadanantaram Sutradharaha Pravishati. Now here Sutradharaha means like the director of the Natakam. Saha Natake Abhineshyamanayaha Kathayaha Suchanam Dadati. So he will tell the main story of the Natakam. Tadanantaram Natakasya Prarambha Bhavati. So he will come, give the background of the Natakam, and then he will leave, and then the Natakam will start. Samskrita Natake Uttama Janaha Samskritena Nicha Janaha Striyaha cha Prakritena Bhashante. So in a Samskrita Natakam, Uttama Janaha Samskritena Nicha Janaha Striyaha cha Prakritena Bhashante. Prakriti means like the regional language. Range Jalapanam Bhojanam Agnihi yuddham ityadikam na darshaniyam iti niyamah asti. So on the stage, they cannot show the actor drinking water, even if it is part of the story. The fire, eating, and then the war, all these should not be shown in a nataka on the stage. It should not be shown on the stage. Natakasya ante ekah shlokah bhavati. Prayah nayaka eva imam shlokam pathati. Asmin shloke lokaha samastaha sukino bhavantu. Ityetadrisham arthapurnam mangalaशासनम bhavati. Asya shlokasya bharatavakyam iti nama. Okay. So at the end, a shlokam will be recited. Usually it is the nayaka of that natakam who will recite this shloka. And usually the general meaning of this shloka will be like lokaha samastaha sukino bhavantu. It may not be always this exact words, different words, but in the same meaning. Asya shlokasya bharatavakyam iti nama. So this shloka is referred to as bharatavakyam. The first one is known as Nandi. The shloka that is recited at the beginning, or the Mangala Padyam that is recited at the beginning, is called Nandi, and the shloka that is recited at the end is called Bharatavakyam. Natakam Sangeetena Yuktam. So it is, along with music. Geetam Vadyam Tatha Nrityam Trayam Sangeetam Uchyate. Many times we think Sangeetam means only music, but no. Sangeetam means Vadyam, Nrityam, and Geetam. All three together are called Sangeetam. Vadyam is instrument, Nrityam, and then Geetam. Together all these three are called Sangeetam. Ebihi tribihi yuktam natakam bahut janapriyam abhavat. So that natakam which is what do you say? Which contains a Sangeetam, we can say. Okay, will be enjoyed, will be liked by all the people. Kavyeshu natakam ramyam ityuktihi prasiddha. So there is a saying called Kavyeshu natakam ramyam. So kavyam is gadya kavyam, padya kavyam, and then drishya kavyam, shravya kavyam. The drishya kavyam is called natakam. So there are so many kinds of kavyams. Among all the kavyams, natakam is the most beautiful. There is a saying like that. Yadyapi loko bhinna ruchihi tathapi natakam tan sarvan samaradhayati. So though everybody has a different taste, natakam is something that is liked by most. Samskrita sahitye bhasaha, kalidasaha, shudrakah, harshah, bhavabhutihi ityadayah prasiddhaha kavayah natakani rachitavantaha. So in Sanskritam, all these poets have written natakams. Udaharana rupena adaha kaschana nataka bhagaha dattaha asti. Eshaha bhagaha Kalidasa virachitat abhignana shakuntala namakat natakat uddhutaha or uddhrutaha. What is that word?
Uddhrutaha. Uddhrutaha, madam.
Uddhrutaha. It has been taken from Abhignana Shakuntala Natakam written by Kalidasa. Okay, a sample is given, a small sample of a Natakam, how it will be. So, Dushyantaha. Ai bho Maharshi Putra, Kimiti Ashrama Viruddham Acharati Bhavan. Okay, so this is, I will give you the background, because the first time I read this, it took me a long time to figure out the context. So, Indirani Bhagini, you have a question?
Yeah, ma'am. Quick question. Actually, sorry, I'm going back to the previous one. The declension. There in Prabhat, it is not like, it doesn't decline like Jagat and Dadat, is it? Prabhat is Akaranta.
Prabhatam. Prabhatam. It is like Vanam.
Okay.
Akaranta Napumsakalinga Shabda.
Okay. So how do we know this? It's only
only with the exposure. Only with exposure.
Okay.
And
My-
looking up, like when we come across a new word, we look up and then we will know the antas, because knowing the antas, is just, like with exposure only.
Yeah, because Prabhat, I would normally decline it as the Karanta. I would not have known it was.
No.
The other one is, what is the difference between Natya Swarupa and Natya Lakshanam? You said something.
So Natya Swarupam is the flow, like what does it start with? Swarupa means form, right? So how does it start? What will it have? And all that. And the Lakshanam is more like characteristics.
Okay.
What characteristics Natakam should have, what rasas it should have, or what are the things that it can have and cannot have, and such things.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now let us look at the example of this Natakam. Oh, I was telling you the context, right? So this is when Dushyanta goes into the forest and finds the Bharata. Initially, he doesn't know he's Bharata. So there will be a conversation between them. And then Shakuntala will be told that that Dushyanta has come or something. So basically, that is the background of this scene. Okay. Dushyantaha. Ayi bho Maharshi Putra. Kimiti ashrama viruddham acharati bhavan? Tapasi. Bhadramukha. Na khalu ayam Rishikumarah. So here Dushyanta looks at Bharata and he thinks he is a Rishikumara, and he says, why are you acting against the rules of the ashramam? So then there is a Tapasi next to the boy. So she says, Bhadramukha, na khalu ayam Rishikumaraha. He is not a Rishikumara. Raja, Balakam upalalayan, atha kaha asya vyapadeshaha. So he will ask, then who is this boy's family? Tapasi. Puruvamshaha. So he is from the Puru, the family of Puru. So now the king is thinking, Atmagatam. Katham ekanvayaha nama na punaratma gatya manushanam eshaha vishayaha. So Puruvamsha means it is the same Vamsham as mine. But then, how can this be? Punaratmagatya manushanam eshaha vishayaha. So, but this place is very difficult to survive. So, an ordinary person cannot survive here. So, how come a person from the same lineage as me is surviving here? Tapasi. Yatha Bhadramuko Bhanati. Apsarah sambandhena asya janani atra devaguroho tapovane prasuta. So she says, so this Tapasi will understand his doubt, and so she says, that she gave birth to this boy in this Tapovanam, and taken care by her Devaguru, by her Guru. And then Raja will think, Atmagatam again, Hanta, Dvitiyamidam Asha Jananam. Prakasham means like he says it outside. Atmagatam means he thinks in his mind. Okay. So the first part he thinks, Hanta, Dvitiyamidam Asha Jananam. And then outside he says, Atha sa tatra bhavati kimakhyasya rajarshehe patni. So he did come in search. I think he will, after he sees the ring, he will remember what has happened and he will come in search of her. So when he comes to know, this boy is from the Puru Vamsha, and then a lady gave birth to this boy in this Guru's ashram and all this, then, he will again have some hope. So he's asking, what is the name of the husband? Kahatasya dharmadara parityaginah nama sankirtayitum chintayati. So this Tapasi will say, because they all know that this Shakuntala was rejected by her husband. So they will say, who wants to, think of that person's name who has rejected his wife? Dharmadara Parityaginaha. Dara means wife. Okay. So Dharmadara Parityaginaha, he who left his wife, his name, who would like to think of his name? So now Raja is again thinking to himself, Iyam khalu katha mameva lakshyi karoti. So this looks like this is my story only. So this lady, whoever is Shakuntala. Dvitiya Tapasi. Now there is another Tapasi there. Pravishya Mrinmayura Hasta. Sarvadamana Shakuntala Vanyam Prekshasva. Shakuntalavanyam Prekshasva. So here, of course, they have these birds, right? So look at the, she was pointing to those birds and saying to look at the birds and their beauty. So Balaha, Kutra va mama mata. So the boy now asks, where is my mother? Both the Tapasis will say, Nama Sadrishyena Vanchitaha Matra Vatsalaha. So Nama Sadrishyena Vanchitaha Matra Vatsalaha. Nama Sadrishyena means, Sadrishi means like how the name is appears deceitful, like that this boy is. That is the meaning of the sentence. So I don't know why they are saying that the name is
because it is Shakuntalavanya. So here also there is Shakuntala. I think that is the comparison.
Oh, okay. Yeah. In the earlier sentence, it is said Shakuntalavanyam Prekshasva. Yeah. So that is why the boy asked, where is my mother? So they both will think that, okay, just listening to that name, like how he was, how he thought it was his mother, like that. Okay. So now again, the king will think, Atmagatam. Kim va Shakuntala iti maturakhya santi va punaha namadheya sadrishyani. So, okay, his mother's name is Shakuntala. But then is it the same Shakuntala as my Shakuntala, or maybe just the name accidentally matched? So now the Prathama, the first Tapasi is saying, Vilokya Sodvegam Rakshakaran Karanandakam Asya Manibandhe na Drishyate. So Manibandhe na Drishyate. Now on whose wrist is it not there? Oh, the boy's Manibandha is not there. So he's thinking, now the king is thinking, whose son is this? Is it the same Shakuntala as my Shakuntala or not? So now this Tapasi is looking at the amulet or the bracelet of the boy. Maybe it has some clue who he is. So it is not there. Okay. Alamalamavegena nanu idam asya simhashava vimardat paribhrashtam adatum ichchati. Okay. So now the king says, so while okay, don't panic. It got dropped when he was struggling with the cub. And now again both of them will say, Ma khalu idam avalambya katham grihitam anena. Okay, so they say, oh no, don't touch it. But then even before they say that, the king will pick up the bracelet that has fallen down. Kimartham pratisiddhaha smaha. Why should not I pick it up? Shrunotu maharajaha esha aparajita nama oshadhihi asya jata karma samaye bhagavata marichena datta etam kila mata pitarau atmanam cha varjayitva aparaha bhumi patitam na grihnati. So other than the mother or the father, nobody else should touch it. This is given by Maricha when the boy was born. And this is a herb. Basically, this amulet contains the herb Aparajita. Atha Grihnati, so what happens if somebody else touches it? Tataha tam sarpaha bhutva dashati. So then that bracelet will turn into a snake and it will bite that person who picked it up. Kadachidasya vikriya pratyakshīkrita. So kadachit asya vikriya pratyakshīkrita. So did you ever see that happening? Anekashaha. Yeah, many times we have seen if somebody else picked it up, then it turned into a snake and bit them. Saharsham atmagatam. So now he is again thinking. Kathamiva sampurnam api me manoratham. So manoratham na abhinandami. So then katham iva sampurnam api me manoratham na abhinandami. So why cannot I feel happy about my my wish that has been fulfilled? Suvrate ehi imam vrittantam shakuntalayai nivedayava. So one of the Tapasi's name is Suvrata. So she's saying, come on, let us go and tell the whole whatever has happened to Shakuntala. So since this bracelet did not turn into a snake, now they understood that this is the father. So they are going back to tell Shakuntala what has happened. So basically, this is a sample of the Natakam. So how is it? No sound. Okay. Okay. So now let us look at, don't worry, this is just a sample. Exam point of view, you don't have to worry at all, but read several times just to get a hang of it. It took me many times to, get comfortable with this because especially initially, the thing is the context. Without having any context, suddenly if we read this, we know that Dushyanta is there. But then just with Dushyanta, initially I felt it difficult, but it is fine.
The language used is also not easy to understand.
Yes. So it was so confusing. And we don't know this, this story, right? We know that we don't know in such detail. We know that Dushyanta came, he gets in touch with the boy first, and then, but that amulet and, all that fine details we don't know. So it will be difficult to, what do you say? Difficult to associate. Anyways, so that is just a sample. Don't worry about it. In exam point of view, not at all. You don't have to worry anything. This is just for sample and it is that. So, but you read it several times for you to get a hang of it. Okay. So, Samskrita Granthakara Parichayaha. So, in this series, we will introduce the important authors of Sanskrit. The language used will be very simple Sanskrit. The objective of this is to help our students know about these authors and their works, and more importantly, to inculcate the habit of reading Sanskrit material. So do read the passage completely and try to follow the content. And however, you need not pay much attention to the fine details. So Valmikihi. Kujantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakham Vande Valmiki Kokilam. Okay, so this is about Valmiki, this shloka. Pujantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam. So here the poet Valmiki is compared to the koel. Okay, like how the koel coos, here Valmiki also says the name of Rama so many times. Like how a bird sits on a branch of a tree. He sits on the branch of the Kavita Shakha. Here the poetry is compared to the branch of a tree. Okay. रामायणम् आदिकाव्यम् इति प्रसिद्धम् इतिहासग्रन्थः इत्यपि भाव्यते एतत् एतस्य ग्रन्थस्य रचयिता वाल्मीकिः okay so it is known as adikavyam and it is also known as itihasa grantha itihasa means historical text किरातकुले उत्पन्नः सः नारदस्य उपदेशात् तपः अकरोत् okay he who was born in the hunter's family after he was preached by Narada he performed tapas tasya shariram avritya valmikah utpannah avritya means surrounding so when he was performing tapas valmikah utpannah an ant hill has formed around his body ततः सः बहिः आगतः इत्यतः तस्य नाम वाल्मीकिः इति जातम् इति काचित् कथा श्रूयते so then when his tapas was over and when he came out of that Valmikah he came out of the Valmikah and so he is known as Valmiki. There is such a story that is heard. Tamasa nadim snanartham gachan Valmikihi vyadhena maritam krauncham pashyati. So now this Valmiki, he goes to take a bath in the Tamasa Nadi and then he sees a krauncha bird which has been killed by a hunter. Tada shokakulah saha ma nishada pratishtam tvamagamaha shashvatihi samaha iti vyadham shapati. So nishada means hunter. Okay. So he felt very bad at looking at that krauncha bird, and then he will curse the hunter. What does he curse? Ma nishada pratishtam tvam agamaha shasvatihi samaha. There is a meaning for this in detail, which I may unable to recollect right now, the exact meaning of this shapam. What is the meaning? Have any of you heard that shapam, about that shapam?
Yeah, I can tell a few words, madam.
Tell.
Basically, it says Ma Nishada Pratishtam Tam Agamaha Sashri Samaha. O Nishada, that is O hunter. Pratishtam Tam Agamaha. You don't attain the Pratishta means Kirti Yasassu, that is one part of it, one meaning of it. You don't get, you will never get Shashwati ever. Samaha Pratishtam Tam Agamaha. No, you don't get your basically your life will be in ruins forever. That is the basic meaning of it.
Yeah.
And the one more meaning I heard is that Tam Agamaha Pratishtam means I heard something else. But this is one meaning I heard, that you will never get your life will be in ruins Swadra onwards. Shashwati Samaha forever.
Yeah, one is a blessing and one is a curse. That's what I have heard. Later, the same can be made into a blessing.
How?
Ma'am, I need to look it up. I had noted this down when I had studied Ramayana. I forgot. I look it up.
So, yeah, even I also have written it long time back, but right now I am unable to remember, but I'm just looking online. So basically what it means is you, for which reason, have killed one of the krauncha birds, killed Shashwatihi permanently for long years, you will never get glory. Yeah, what Ramurthy Mahodaya was saying. Like you will never be, you will never have a good position. You will never
attain a good position. You will never attain a good position, is what it says.
Yes, yes.
Your life will never get a good position.
Shashvatihi, permanently. Okay. Samaha means for many years. For many years, you will never get glory or fame. So in that way, he curses him. ततः नारदमुखात् रामस्य कथां श्रुत्वा सः रामायणं रचयति. सीतारामयोः वियोगः रामायणस्य मुख्यं कथावस्तु. Okay. So after listening to the story of Rama from Narada, he writes Ramayanam, and the main part is how Rama and Sita were separated. Yeah. And then Mahabharate Ramayanasya katha varnita drishyate. Paninehi ashtadhyayam api Kaikeyi Kausalyadayah shabdaha drishyante. Atah Ramayanam Mahabharatat Paninehi cha purvam asit iti spashtam. So in Mahabharata we see reference to Ramayanam. And then in Panini's Ashtadhyayi also we see Kaikeyi Shabda and Kausalya Shabda. So based on these two, we know that Ramayanam existed even before Mahabharata and Panini. Ramayanam kada asit iti vishaye matabhedaha bhavaha santi. So tat karta Valmikihi cha. So always when you try to figure out the timeline of a poet, they will, and if it is not recorded anywhere, they will look at the kavyas that that poet has written and how the social life was described by that poet in the kavya, and based on that they will make a educated guess on when it could have happened or when that poet might have existed. So here Ramayanam kada asit iti vishaye matabhedaha bhavaha santi. So when exactly Ramayana took place, that timeline, there are many different opinions regarding that. Tathapi etavat tu vaktum shakyate yat Valmikihi Ramayanam Kristu Purvam Panchasahasra Varshebhyah Purvam Rachitavan iti. So there might be differences on the dates, but one thing everybody agrees on is Kristu Purvam Panchasahasra Varshebhyah Purvam, means 5,000 years before Christ. It has happened. That is something that is agreed upon. Ramayane Chaturvimshati Sahasra Shlokaha Santi. Ramayanasya Pratisahasratama Shlokasya Adau Gayatri Mantrasya Ekaikam Aksharam Prapyate. So there are 24,000 shlokas in Ramayana, and in every shloka, for every 1,000th shloka, the first letter is taken from the Gayatri mantra. Patha bhedadayah na bhaveyuhu iti uddeshena evam kritam syat kavina. So why was that? Why did they use, the aksharas from the Gayatri mantra for the every 1,000th shloka beginning? Is because back in the day there were no books, right? Everything is only through recital. So just to make sure that that order will not be disturbed and anything will not be lost, they have this procedure. Ramayanam sarvasu bharatiya bhashasu bahvishu videshiya bhashasu cha upalabhyate. So in all Indian languages and in many foreign languages, Ramayanam is available. Etasmat Ramayanasya janapriyata jnata bhavati. So we all know that like it is liked by everybody, right? The story of Ramayana. Valmikehe shaili lalita sarala sundari cha. Sri Ramasya dharmanishta Sitayaha saushilyam Bharatasya bhratrivatsalyam Lakshmanasya kartavya nishta Anjaneyasya karya dakshata Sugrivasya sauharda bhavaha ityadayaha amshaha atiramaniyataya chitritaha tena. So by Kalidasa, all these are very beautifully depicted. Okay. Sri Rama's dharmanishta, Sita's Saushilyam, all these characteristics of these people were very beautifully presented by Kalidasa. Samskrita Sahitya Nirmane Valmikihi Shakapurushaha Ityatra na Atishayoktihi. So Shakapurushaha means I think unequal to anybody else. In that sense it is used.
Man of the era. Shakapurusha. Man of the era. I mean, English meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Man of the era. Yeah. Okay. So now let us move on to the next poet, Vyasaha. Mahabharatasya Rachanakaraha Bhagavan Vyasaha. Vedanam Vibhagaha Anena Kritaha. Ityataha Vedavyasaha iti etasya nama. So Mahabharata was written by Vyasa, and he also did the categorization of the Vedas. So he is also known as Vedavyasa. Dvipe asya janma abhavat ityataha Krishna Dvaipayanaha ityapi etasya nama. So he was born on this Dvipam. So he is also known as Krishna Dvaipayanaha. Etasya pita Parashara Munihi. So that is why he is also known as Parasharaha. We learned this in the Tadhitantas, right? So Parashara Munehe Putraha Ataha Parasharaha. Mata cha Satyavati. So he is the son of Parashara Muni and Satyavati. Mahabharatam Laksha Shlokatmakaha Vistritaha Grantaha. Vyasaha Bharata Katham Putram Shukam Shishyam Vaishampayanam cha Bodhitavan. So it has 1 lakh shlokas, and then he told this story to his son Shuka and his disciple Vaishampayana. Vaishampayanaha Janamejayam tam katham avadat. Now Vaishampayana has told this story to Janamejayam. Janamejayena ukta bharata katha eva idanim upalabhyate. So the story told by Janamejaya is the Mahabharata story that is available today. Ramayane iva atrapi Brahma Vyasam Bharata Katha Lekhanaya Protsahayati. Like how there Narada kind of encouraged Valmiki, here also Brahma encouraged Vyasa to write this story. Vyasaha yogyasya lekhakasya abhavam vadati. So Vyasa says, okay, I would like to write, but I am not getting a suitable writer. Tataha Ganeshaha Bharata Katha Lekhana Karyam Angikaroti. So Ganesha came forward and he said, I will write. Vyasena Uktam Bharata Katham Saha Likhati cha. So, and he has written as it was told by Vyasa. Arya Bhataha Vadati. Kristu Purvam. So 101. So Eka Shatam Adhika Trisahasram Tame Varshe Kali Yugasya Arambhaha Abhavat iti. Okay, so Arya Bhatta said that in that year Kali Yugam has started. Kali Yugasya Arambha Dine Sri Krishnaha Param Dhama Gatavan. Tataha Saptatrimshat Varshebhyaha Purvam Mahabharata Yuddham Pravrittam. Ataha Mahabharata Kalaha Vyasa Kalaha cha Prayaha Eshaha Eva iti Nirnetum Shakyam. So basically how you can see how the timeline is calculated. Okay, so before Kali Yuga only Mahabharata happened. And when did Kali Yuga? Yes, Mahodaya.
This Parandhama Gatavan is what is written there.
Parandhamam. Parandhamam, it should be there.
Should have been, no?
Yes.
Okay. I was wondering if it is there. My mistake. Okay.
So,
Okay, thank you.
yeah. So they are trying to decide the time of Vyasa and Mahabharata. So before Kali Yuga, right? Dwapara Yuga is before Kali Yuga, and this happened in Dwapara Yuga. So as per Aryabhatta, Kali Yuga started in 3101 year Kristu Purvam, before Christ. And then Kali Yugasya Arambha Dine Sri Krishna Parandhamam Gatavan. So on the first day of Kali Yuga, Sri Krishna left. So Sri Krishna left after so many years of after the Kurukshetra Yuddha is done, I think, right? So that is calculated as 37 years. So when Krishna died or went away or left this world, 37 years before the Mahabharata Yuddham has happened. So after the Kurukshetra Yuddham, after 37 years, Sri Krishna left. So calculating it like that, they decided the timeline. So that will be the timeline of Mahabharata and Vyasa. Okay. So 37 years before 3101 before Christ. So that is the timeline. Mahabharate bahvyaha upakathaha upalabhyante. Ataha Bharata katham avalambya gadya padya champu kavyadinam bahuni likitani vividhaihi kavibihi. Okay. So Mahabharata has many upakathas, short stories. So so based on these short stories, many granthas or kavyas have been written. Gadya kavyas, padya kavyas, champu kavyas have been written by many poets. Bhagavad Gita, Harivamshaha ityadayah api Mahabharate eva antarbhavati. So Bhagavad Gita and Harivamshaha, all those are also a part of Mahabharata Kavyam. Vyasasya shaili api Valmikehe iva sarala eva. Mahabharatam api adhikyena anushtup chandasa eva upanibaddham asti. Okay, so like Valmiki, even Vyasa has a simple way of writing. And this also is in most of the shlokas in Mahabharatam also are in Anushtup Chandas. When the word api indicates that Ramayana shlokas are also in Anushtup Chandas. Okay. So that is the introduction for the both kavis. Now let us look at this end of the lesson question paper. Etesham prashnanam uttarani likata. Kaha manushyah vastutah jivati. This is from the Subhashitam. Kaha manushyah vastutah jivati. Atmartham.
Atmartham.
Paropakaradham yas jivati sah vastutah jivati.
Vastutah jivati means he who lives for namesake, right?
Atmartham jivali.
Yaha atmartham jivati saha vastutah jivati. Vastutah jivati means living for namesake.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
there is nothing benefit by their life.
Vastutah, I thought is it really? It's not really real life.
Materialistic.
Vastavikamu. Vastavika ante nijanga అది. వస్తుతః అంటే నిజంగా కాదు కదా.
Materialistic. Materialistic.
Even I took it the same way as Mahodaya took it. Vastutah jivati. Matlab jo who lives for
ఆన్సర్ కూడా అట్లా ఇచ్చారండి. పరోపకారత జీవతి సయ వస్తుతః జీవతి అని ఇచ్చారండి కింద.
Okay. Let me just see.
Vastutah is somebody who lives for vastu, material.
Okay, both meanings are there. One second. Vastutah means both meanings are there. Vastavika is there, and dhana daulata, sampatti, vaibhava, those are also there. So both are there. Here we have to take it as vastavika.
Vastavikam.
The padartha is also there. Samagri, padartha, dravya, that also is there. But in this context, we have to take it as vastavika.
Answer given as paropakarartham.
So then, yeah, if we take it as vastavika, then paropakarartham yaha jivati saha vastutaha jivati. Then we have sajjanaha kimartham jivanti.
Paropakarartham jivanti.
Pita pratibadhavatsam. Pita pratibadhavatsam. Eshaha kimantaha shabdaha means antaha kim.
Antaha kim. Akaranta, no?
Akaranta.
Akaranta.
Akaranta strilinga shabdaha. Himalayah Bharatavarshyasya kasmin bhage katham shobhate.
Uttarabhagasya manadanda iva.
Manadanda iva
shobhate.
Parvatyaha mata ka.
Parvatyaha mata.
Oh, is it given in any of this?
Mena Devi.
Yeah, it is no Mena Devi. It is given actually, yes.
And then Bhrata kaha.
That is Mainakaha.
Mainakaha. Rupakeshu kati bhedaha santi.
Dasha bhedaha santi.
Dasha bhedaha santi. Granthalayasya kunchika. Samasta padam likatu.
Samasta padam. Granthalaya kunchika.
Granthalaya kunchika. Sitayaha putraha.
Sita putraha.
Uttamam. Dadimasya bijam.
Dadimi bijam.
Dadima bijam.
Dadima, okay.
Kripanasya dhanam.
Kripana dhanam.
Dasyaha putraha.
Dasi putraha.
Dasi putraha. So basically the technique is, except for the last word, the previous words you have to take only the pratipadikam. Okay?
Yeah. Dasya also Dasi only. Dasi is the pratipadikam.
Dasi is the pratipadikam. For ikaranta strilinga shabda, it is the same. The pratipadikam will be the same.
Yeah.
Anantaram. Etesham tadhittanta padanam vigraha vakyam likhata. Madreyaha. The mother is Madri.
Madri apatyam
Apatyam puman. Puman.
It will be
so,
Madriyaha apatyam puman.
Madriyaha apatyam puman.
Oh, Madriyaha. Okay.
Madri's male offspring. That is what we are trying to say.
Shashti.
Pautraha.
Putrasya apatyam puman.
Sorry.
Putrasya apatyam puman. Bhagineyaha. Bhagini.
Bhaginyaha
apatyam puman. Daityaha. Diti.
Diteha apatyam.
Okay.
Ditehe.
Shabda. Hare.
Ditehe apatyam puman. Diti, is it a strilinga or pumlinga?
Strilinga, man.
Diti. I thought it is Hari. Harihi Shabdam. Harihi.
So it is strilinga, but the thing with strilinga, ikaranta are, it will take both forms. Like in the masculine, Harihi Shabda also, it will take the Stri Shabda also. Like the ikaranta Shabda. So Ditya also is correct. Ditehe is also correct.
Okay.
Okay, so usually Ikaranta Strilinga and Ukaranta Strilinga Shabdas, they will take two forms. From Chaturthi Vibhakti.
But in this case, is it Diti? Is it a male or in that case, both male and female? It will take.
It can be masculine or feminine.
Feminine.
Diti and Aditi, they were the two this thing, no? Two offspring. One had asuras and the other one had suras as children. Diti, Aditi. They were two ladies.
Okay. Yeah. So here in this
case,
context,
then Dityaha. Would it be
Ditehe is
Dityaha?
also fine. Ditehe is also fine.
Okay.
Because that is what I'm saying in Ikaranta Strilinga Shabda, it will take the masculine forms as well as the Ikaranta forms.
Okay.
So it will be like Harehe, Ditehe, as well as like Nadyaha. Okay?
Dityaha.
Yaha. Okay.
Bhagini, Nadyaha will take Nadi Ikarantam kada. Idi Ikarantam kada. Then the Harishi Shubdam utte avutundi ninki. I'm చెప్పినట్టుగాను.
లేదండి. దిత్యాహ కూడా ఉంటుంది.
నిత్యాహ కూడా ఉంటుందండి.
మతిహికి కూడా ఉంది కదా మత్యాహ.
ఓ
మతేహే
మతి
మత్యాహ.
ఓకే 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 ఓకే. థాంక్యూ.
అనంతరం సారమేయః.
Aditi.
ఆదిత్యః. అదితి.
So it will be Adityaha apatyam puman or Aditehe apatyam puman.
Aditehe or Adityaha.
Aditehe apatyam puman.
Sarameyah.
Saramayaha
apatyam puman. Tadhittantam ekapadam likata. Raghuvamshe jataha. Raghavaha. Shurasya putraha.
Shaurihi. Shaurihi. We read that before.
Ikaranta, not the sound is hrasva ikara. Shaurihi. Duhituhu putraha.
So the visarga is not there. Is it only shauri or shaurihi?
No. Visarga is there. I'm saying you said shaurihi. So I'm saying it is only hrasva.
Shaurihi.
Like harihi.
Shaurihi.
Like harihi. Duhituhu putraha.
Dauhityaha.
Dauhitraha.
Dauhitraha. Vinatayaha putraha. Vainateyaha. Gargavamshe utpannaha.
Gargi.
Pitrushvasuhu putraha.
Paitrushvastriyaha.
Paitrushvastriyaha. Okay. So that completes the first lesson. We still have time. Shall we start the second lesson?
Oh, it's all samasas. Okay.
We can do the Kavya Katha, Subhashitani, such things we can do, and do the main Vyakarana in the next class.
Yeah, sure. That will be good.
Let me get my book. Okay. Because the samasas, once we start, I don't want to stop in the middle. So we'll go to Subhashitani and then the Kavya Katha. Okay. So the Subhashitani. Yad achetanaha api padaihi sprishtaha prajvalatihi savituri nakantaha tat tejasvi purushaha parakrita nikritim katham sahate. Yat achetanaha api padaihi sprishtaha prajvalati savituri nakantaha tat tejasvi purushaha parakrita nikritim katham sahate. Achetanaha api means he who is not very accomplished. In that way you can take. Is that, wait.
Nirjiva, madam.
Nirjivam. Yeah. Nirjivam.
Lifeless.
Yat achetanaha api padaihi sprishtaha prajwalati saviturina kantaha.
विशेषः इति अस्ति अन्वयरचनायाः अनन्तरं तेलुगुभाषायाम् अस्ति तत् पठतु।
So here achetana is taken as lifeless objects. Okay, achetana vastu is taken as lifeless objects. Okay, even they kind of glow. Here it is taken like say for example a mani. Okay, prajwalati means it will glow, right? If you take a stone and when the sun's rays fall on it, sometimes it shines. So achetana vastu also is showing some kind of reaction. For the sun's rays. So tejasvi purushaha parakrita nikritim katham sahate. An insult done by other people, why will a tejasvi purushaha, why will he tolerate that? Now here, though the example is given as achetanaha api prajwalati, means like a lifeless object, it shines. Even though the word, the superficial meaning is taken like that, the intended meaning is a common man himself will not tolerate any insult done to him. So how can a tejasvi purushaha tolerate it? That is the inner meaning. But here at the surface level, it is taken like this. Okay. So yat achetanaha api padaihi sprishtaha prajwalati savituhu inakantaha tat tejasvi purushaha parakrita nikritim katham sahate. Okay. So here let us look at the anvayartha. Inakantaha means surya kantam kanta manihi. Okay, inakantaha is a mani. Surya kanta manihi. Achetanaha api chetanarahita vastu chetapi savituhu suryasya padaihi. Here padaihi means rays. Okay, kiranaihi. Sprishtaha means as and when they touch. Yada sprishtaha bhavati tada yat yatha prajwalati, like how it will shine. Tat, it is taken in the meaning of tatha. Tejasvi means abhimani purushaha. Parakrita nikritim anyaihi means anyaihi kritam apamanam. Katham sahate. Okay. Sodhum shaknuyat.
What is inakantam?
Inakantaha is a kind of gem. Surya kanta manihi.
Okay, thanks.
It glows when the sun's rays fall on it. It is a lifeless object. A lifeless object also is responding when the sun's rays fall on it. So, Abhimani Purushaha will, how can he tolerate any insult made to him? Like I said, here in the Subhashitam, the Subhashitakaraha used, the context is explained a little differently, but what he actually means is, even a common man will react to any kind of insult done to him. So, Tejasvi Purushaha, why will he tolerate? That is the meaning. So, here the Tatparyam is given. Loke Samanyaha Purushaha api anyaihi kritam swasya apamanam na sahate. Swabhimani Purushaha anyaihi kritam apamanam na sahate. Iti tu na vaktavyam. तस्य उदाहरणम् अपि कविना दत्तं यत् सूर्यकान्तमणिः यदा सूर्यकिरणैः स्पर्शं प्राप्नोति तदा झटिति प्रज्वलति. Achetane manau eva etadrishah svabhavah drishyate. Sachetananam vishayetu vaktavyam eva nasti. So it need not be told specifically. When achetana vastu itself is reacting like that, then abhimani purushaha will not tolerate. It need not be told is what is given here.
ఇక్కడ మేడం ఇక్కడ అచేతనే మనౌ అంటే రాశాడు ఇక్కడ దానికి ఏ విభక్తి వస్తుందండి అది ఇక్కడ యాక్చువల్లీ
సప్తమి విభక్తి. సప్తమి విభక్తి
ప్రథమా విభక్తి ఉండాలి కదా ఇక్కడ.
మణి యందు కూడా అటువంటి స్వభావం కనిపిస్తుంది.
దృశ్యతే. ఓకే 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 ఓకే.
తర్వాత సెకండ్ సుభాషితం. అకృత్యం న ఏవ కర్తవ్యం ప్రాణత్యాగే అపి సంస్థితే న చ కృత్యం పరిత్యాజ్యమేషః ధర్మః సనాతనః. Okay, so our dharma is a Sanatana dharma, right? So basically, as per our Sanatana dharma, even when we are about to lose our life also, we should not do bad deeds. Akrityam na eva kartavyam should not be done. Akrityam, bad deeds should not be done. Pranatyage api, even when we are about to lose our life, even at that point also we should not. Nacha krityam parityajyameshah dharmah sanatanaha. So this is our Sanatana dharma. And what is that Sanatana dharma? Not doing akrityam and krityam parityajyam. Should not, na parityajyam means doing the good deed or doing the right thing, we should not leave. So we should not do bad thing and we should not stop doing the good thing. This is our Sanatana dharma. Let us look at the Tatparyam. Samanyataha loke janaha apatkale yat kimapi akaryam kartum siddhaha bhavanti. So in times of difficulty, they will get ready to do any kind of bad deeds. Kintu asmakam samskritihi asman upadishati yat yasyam kasyanchit api paristitau manushyena akaryam na karaniyam. But what does our Samskriti tell us? To not do any bad deed, even whatever kind of situation we are. Pranatyaga prasange prapte sati api akaryasya chintanam na yuktam iti. Even when we are about to lose our life, even at that time we should not do anything bad, and even that thought also should not come to us. Yatha akaryasya karanam na yuktam tathaiva swasya dharmasya parityagah api na yuktaha. So like how not doing bad things is important, similarly doing the right thing is also equally important. This also in many contexts we see, right? When something injustice is happening in front of us, many times we keep quiet. We don't stop it. We think it is none of our business. But that also is wrong, is whatever Sanatana dharma says. So we have to stand up for the victim. If that victim is at there is no fault of his, so we should support whoever is right. We have to support them and try our best to not anything bad happen to them. We have to stand up for them basically. So many times we do the first part, we don't do anything bad. That part we all will follow. But standing up for a person who is in trouble, that many times we don't do. We are afraid, right? Like even we might get into trouble or whatever it is. So, but that also needs to be done, is what is said in that Subhashitam. Now let us look at the Kavya Katha. Now Indra, the minute Brahma told the son born to Shiva and Parvati, only he is capable of killing Tarakasura. So Indra immediately thinks of Manmatha, right? That is where we stopped. Indrena smritaha Manmataha Indra samipam agatavan. Tena saha tasya patni Ratihi api agata. So immediately when Indra thought of Manmatha, Manmatha came and appeared before Indra, and along with him his wife Rati also. Manmatah karena dhanuhu dhritavan. Okay, he is holding a dhanuhu in his hand. Tat dhanuhu pushpaihi nirmitam. So that dhanu is made out of flowers. Manmatah devendram namaskritavan uktavancha. Now he saluted to Devendra and he says, Prabho, kimartham mam bhavan smritavan agnyapayatu iti. So you were thinking of me. Why did you think of me? You tell me. Indraha santushtaha abhavat. He felt happy and said, he said, Loka kalyanartham harasya parvatyaha cha vivahaha kartavyaha asti. For the beneficial of the world, Parvati and Hara should get married. Haraha tapasi nimagnaha. But Hara is immersed in tapas. Tasya manaha akarshaniyam. So you have to distract him so that he will be attracted. Idam karyam tvaya kartavyam iti uktavan. Only you have to do this. This has to be done by you. Tataha manmataha vasantena saha ishwarasya tapovanam gatavan. So he took Vasanta along with him and went to wherever Shiva was there. Vasantasya prabhavena akale api vasantarutu prabhavaha jataha. Because of Vasanta, the whole place turned like spring. Malaya marutaha avahat. Malaya maruta means that soft breeze from the mountains also came. Ashokadi vriksheshu pushpani utpannani. So all the trees were flowering. Evam sarvatra ritu prabhavaha asit. So everywhere the spring season's effects are seen. Tathapi jitendriyaha haraha na vichalitaha. But Shiva is jitendriyaha. So he was not disturbed. Tam drishtva bhitaha manmataha chapam tyaktavan. So looking at Shiva, he got afraid and he even left his bow. Tataha Parvati puja dravyani grihitva tatra agatavati. So Parvati's father, he already, Parvataha, Narada already told Parvataha, she will become, Shiva's wife. So since that day, he has been sending Parvati to Shiva to perform puja and all that. So just then Parvati came with all the things. Ishwaram namaskritavati. Ishwaraha. Ananyabhajam patim apnuhi. Okay. Iti ashirvadam kritavan. So he blesses her. May you have a very loving husband. Ishwarena anugrihitam parvatim drishtva manmataha punaha dhairyam praptavan. Oh, now he has blessed her. So I think I can try my luck. Tataha ayameva yuktaha kalaha iti vichintya manmataha sammohanastram dhanushi yojitavan. So this is the right time, he thinks, and then he releases Sammohanastram. Tada haraha kinchit lupta dheryaha abhavat. So for a second, Shiva was disturbed. Chanchalaha bhutva uma mukhe drishtim prasaritavan. At the same time, since Parvati is already there, he happened to look at her during that time when he was disturbed. Tadrisham Parameshwaram Drishtva Parvati Romanchita Babhuva. So even Parvati was disturbed upon seeing Shiva in that kind of emotion. Chakitaha Haraha Chittavikshobhasya Karanam Kim Iti Vichintitavan. Okay, so Chakitaha means surprised. So Shiva was thinking, how can I be disturbed? What has happened? It is not just without any reason. So he's looking around. First he thought what happened, and then parshve apashyatcha. So he looked around. Tatra sthitam manmatham vikshya haraha ativa kruddhaha. So then he saw Manmatha and he got very angry. Samipe sthitaha sarve api devaha prabho krodham samhara iti prarthitavantaha. So all the devas are also there. So immediately they said, you please do not get angry. Do not get angry. किन्तु तस्मिन्नेव समये ईश्वरः तृतीयं नेत्रम् उद्घाटितवान्. So he opened his third eye. Tada agnihi bahihi sphuritaha, and the Agni came out. Agnina madanaha dagdaha. So Manmatha got burned in that fire. Bhasmi bhutaha cha, and he was turned into ashes. Tapasaha vignaha samutpannaha iti tam pradesham eva parityajya ishvaraha tu anyatra gatavan. So Shiva moved on to a different place because here his whole tapas was disturbed. Parvati swakiyam saundaryam nishphalam iti matva lajjaya nirashataya cha pratinivritta. So Parvati started blaming her own beauty, and she also left that place, feeling ashamed. Ishvarena dagdham manmatam drishtva ratihi murchita. So Rati Devi fainted upon seeing her husband burned to ashes. Kinchit kalanantaram prabuddha. So after a while again she woke up. Purataha bhasmarashim vikshya sa bahu vilapam kritavati. So she felt very sad upon seeing the bhasmarasi of her husband. Tataha sa vasantam uddishya. Vasanta manmatham vina katham aham jivami. Chitam siddham kuru. So how can I live without Manmatha? Please prepare the pyre. Aham dehatyagam karishyami iti uktavati. I would like to leave my body. Tada akashe ashariravani shrita. So then she heard ashariravani from Akasham. Rati Devi sahasam ma kuru. Tava patihi brahmashapena mritaha. Shigrameva punaha jivishyati. Maranachintam tyaktva swashariram pariraksha iti. So Akashavani tells her, don't worry, this is only because of a shapa from Brahma. Soon he will again come alive. So you don't think about, leaving your body. Vasantaha api samadhanam uktavan. So Vasanta also consoled her. Ratihi kathamchit samadhanam praptavati. So somehow she managed to, accept whatever has happened. So that is the Kavya Katha. Any doubts in the Kavya Katha? Okay, we still have time. Shall we do something else, or you guys?
We'll do the question answers later.
Question answers we'll do after the Vyakarana.
No. Kavya Katha's question.
Of the Kavya Katha. Okay. Manmathasya patnika.
Rati Devi. Namaskritavati Parvatim haraha. Kimiti ashirvachanam uktavan.
Ananya bhaja patim apnuhi.
Ananya bhaja patim apnuhi. Okay.
Ratihi kimartham dehatyagam kartumaichat. Tasya
patti mritaha iti chintit.
Iti karanat. Ishvaraha kimartham tam pradesham parityajya gatavan.
Tasya tapasya vignaha bhavati.
Tapasaha vignaha samutpannaha iti tam pradesham eva parityajya ishvaraha anyatra gatavan. So shall we look at the Kavi Parishaya?
Ma'am, I think
we'll stop here.
We'll stop here if you don't mind.
Yeah. The only reason is it will be difficult to complete the syllabus reading all through it. Reading through the literary thing, especially because the literary thing is a lot. So that is the reason why I don't like to, cut short the class. But for today, I will. It is okay. We shall stop. But from next class, even if 1 minute is there, I will try to do something. Okay.
Okay.
And the
Okay.
recording is there, so whoever wants to leave can leave, and you can always listen to the recording later.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Vandan.
Okay. So, धन्यवादाः सर्वेभ्यः.
Thank you. Good night.
Dhanyawad, Amma. Thank you.
धन्यवादः भगिनी.
धन्यवादः भगिनी.